What's up, guys? This is Crypto with James. So, Polkadot. Got to talk about Polkadot because obviously the parachains are coming up. Let's talk about what the price could run to and everything that's going on with Polkadot at the moment. Before I do, as always, I update the spreadsheet. The first 26 coins I spoke about on the channel that I thought would absolutely crush it in this bull cycle. I just put $100 into each one when I released the videos, and we're still holding those bags. You'll be in profit for $62,800. Add in your $2,600 investment. You're sitting on $65,400. I've held all of these at one point or another in closed positions. I'm damn near all of them in profit, just not grin. And then I've reinvested that money into new cryptos. If you want to see the cryptos I'm in, check out Copy My Crypto. I've built my portfolio to maximize gains during this bull cycle. My portfolio continues to outperform the market week in and week out, and my biggest bags are primed and ready for takeoff. They've had some great gains over the past 8 weeks. It's been wonderful. And in terms of building your wealth during the bull cycle, that is important because the bear cycle is where you make your money. Fundamentally, the bear cycle investments are the investments that set you up for life. I found Phantom during the bear cycle. It's currently up 412 times in value. So $2,500 investment from my Udemy course, which I know a few of my students did, netted you a profit, if you were still holding everything, of $1 million. And that's what you got to do. You got to build your wealth right now because those bear cycle investments will be the most important investments of your life. So check out Copy My Crypto. Right, Polkadot. Polkadot's up to the 8th position in crypto rankings in terms of market cap. Spoke about this earlier today. So Polkadot has set a date for the hotly anticipated Parachain auctions of around November 11th. Now, that bodes exceptionally well for Polkadot, and we saw that in the price movement in the last day. At the low, it was $34.90. At the high, it was actually around $43. Retraced a little, as you would expect, because that was quite a rally, quite fast. You also notice trading volumes up 216%. That's a big push in terms of percentage, and a big push in terms of trading volume. 5.8 billion traded, yes, in the last 24 hours, because people are starting to realize that they need to be holding some Polkadot, or at least certainly day traders are going, I'm going to get a big swing here. Now, Polkadot, the Parachain auction is important because it has an impact on the projection of what Polkadot could hit this year. 2.4 million Kusama ended up being used for the Kusama Parachain auctions. So if we just take a look at Kusama, so that is now, of the circulating supply, nearly, well, over a quarter, over 25% now of the circulating supply is out of action because it's no longer circulating. All that Kusama that's disappeared because it was put in for those Parachain auctions are now gone. They'll come back in a year, but they are out of circulation for a year. They are locked up for a year. So the people that participated in the Kusama Parachain, meant that they're going to get airdropped, or they're going to be dropped the tokens for whichever Parachain they voted for that won. So you're talking 25% more than of the circulating supply gone. So if that happens to Polkadot, you're looking at around 250 million gone. That changes things. All of a sudden, now only about 737 million, give or take, are circulating. All of a sudden, the price action of Polkadot is even more interesting, because those coins that are put up for the Parachain auctions are locked up for 2 years. Because if you get a Parachain slot on Polkadot, it's a 2-year slot. So that Polkadot is gone for 2 years. So that makes things very, very interesting, because all of a sudden now you've got, say, a circulating supply of 750, call it 750 right? So if Polkadot was $200, yes, based on circulating supply, you're looking at effectively around 200 billion market cap. But realistically, when you're talking about what's circulating, you're actually talking about close to 150 billion. So all of a sudden, $200 for a Polkadot is not necessarily out of reach. In fact, it could go higher. That's a big ask in terms of long-term. Polkadot is going to be a, I think, probably an established top 5 coin. But this year, there's no reason all of a sudden that Polkadot isn't a $200 coin, or maybe more, because there's a lot less circulating than. Well, there will be a lot less circulating in just a matter of a month and a half, 2 months. Um, and when you're looking at what Polkadot is, so if anyone's familiar with Polkadot at this point, Polkadot was created by 3 guys. So they were Gavin Wood, who is one of the original founders of Ethereum, Peter Szaban, who is the technology director for the Web3 Foundation. Web3 Foundation is obviously behind some of and supporting some of the most innovative cryptos in the space. And Robert Habermeyer, who's a Thiel fellow and co-founder of Polkadot, and he's a long-time member of the Rust community. Now, Polkadot itself is looking at interoperability. That's the key thing. It's the flagship project of the Web3 Foundation, and it's all about effectively making sure that you've got multiple chains that are interoperable. So Polkadot is doing that through a number of parachains. Kusama as well. Kusama is the network, the canary network for Polkadot. If you look at Kusama's growth in the past year, it's been staggering in terms of price action. Polkadot has, to some degree, flatlined for a reasonable amount of time. I think in the entire year, its all-time high was around $50 or thereabouts. So we're looking at a sort of 4xing that potentially for 4xing the all-time high, so 5xing where it is now. Now Polkadot have got hackathons that have been going on and are going to go on October 22nd. The XCM is to do with the current roadmap. So their current roadmap, they've actually nailed a hell of a lot of this. So the current upgrades is for XCM, which is cross-chain message passing, and the launch of Parathreads. These and subsequent upgrades can be enabled by Polkadot's on-chain governance community. Once developed, testing, benchmarking, and auditing are complete. The benefits of Polkadot itself is that it's a governance token, a staking token, and a bonding token. Those 3 things are what drive the ecosystem. Staking obviously secures the network. You've got governance, which means you can vote on the proposals within Polkadot to make sure that you have a say in how the project moves forward. And then you've got bonding, which is bonding with parachains, to make sure that the parachains are going to launch. Now all the tech has been tested for DOT, so they feel that they're in a position to actually do this. There's your governance, staking, and bonding. And right now, they're looking within the Web3 Foundation's constant grants going on. They've actually funded hundreds of projects, many of which are completely Polkadot centric. And right now, obviously, the hype to some degree is back. With Polkadot, there's been a sort of 18-month period of real excitement around Polkadot. And the Kusama Parachain launch did wonders for Kusama's price actually at that time, as well as the price of some of those tokens that launched. Moon River did like a 7x. Karura did about a 3x straight off the bat, both of which have since retraced. but there's going to be opportunities there within the Parachain launches for Polkadot, which inevitably are going to be, you can almost see which projects are going to land the Parachains for Polkadot. I can bet you right now, Akala, Moonbeam, and Fella are three of the first five. So there's opportunities there. The Polkadot ecosystem is starting to get that hype back. If you're looking at Polkadot as a whole, its ecosystem has evolved to the point that it's now part of Binance Smart Chain. Obviously, it works within Ethereum as well. Inevitably, Solana is on the cards. Huge, massive amounts of investors. This crypto is damn near in every major venture capital's portfolio. So Polkadot is also tied to the Hiko mainnet now, which is Huobi's mainnet, which is very fast, very quick. Now, in terms of these Parachain auctions, as you can see, the first real-world functional Parachain state mine began processing not that well in June, and since then we've seen Kusama go wild in terms of I think it's 11 or it's 12 now parachains that have been complete. Polkadot's been ready and waiting, and that's been the thing that everyone's hyped about, because fundamentally the future of the tech in blockchain is about interconnectivity. It's vital that blockchains can all interact, and Polkadot is I think going to be the hub behind that. The parachains that work to connect with multiple different chains are going to allow Polkadot as an ecosystem to continue to grow. Polkadot's ecosystem in and of itself is one of the largest in crypto. Obviously, Ethereum's the daddy. Binance Smart Chain's massive. Solana's grown very, very much. Avalanche has also grown a lot. Polkadot, everything will end up being tied into Polkadot, and that's the long-term hope with Polkadot. Is while this current bull cycle, I think $200 is probably going to be hit, because 200 billion sounds a lot. It is a lot. I'm not doubting that, but when you factor in only 750 million will be circulating, if you just extrapolate the same percentages as with Kusama, it's realistically true value is actually 150 billion, which is a lot less. And long term, down the line, we're talking next bull cycle after, if Polkadot has become the hub, the place where parachains interconnect with all other blockchains, where Polkadot itself can interconnect with all other blockchains, Polkadot's $1 trillion market cap. It just has to be, because if that's what everyone's using to go to jump between blockchains, then Polkadot's probably the most important project around. But for me, this cycle, I think $200 is still the sort of target, aspirationally, or however you want to call it. But yeah, with 250 million taken out of the supply, there's going to be a supply shock to some degree, because you've lost a quarter of the supply out of nowhere, and there's a lot that's also tied up in staking. So the amount that's available to trade is going to be lower, and when the demand increases, the price will move faster. So don't be surprised if this ends up being 200 billion as a market cap. And yeah, the future looks very bright. Parachain auctions next month will give us a good insight. First 5 will certainly give us a very good insight as to how much Polkadot is going to end up being out of circulation. And from there, you can make an assessment on what you think the price is going to do. But if it's the same as Kusama, it should do wonders for Polkadot's price. So if you're a holder, congratulations. Anyway, that's it from me. What do you guys think the price of Polkadot can reach? Max. Tell me your max. Anyway, if you're new to crypto, check out Copy My Crypto. It's where I share my portfolio, the one I've built to maximize gains during the bull cycle. It's outperforming the market consistently. And there's been some real opportunities for some nice sharp gains as well within that portfolio. Like I said, the true money from investments is made during your investments in a bear cycle. So build your wealth now, and then when the market's dead and no one's looking at it, that's when you need to be looking more than ever. That's what I do. That's how I found Phantom. So check it out, guys. That's it. Bye bye.